Hey guys, so today I wanted to tell you the story of my very first and only car accident. It was pretty traumatizing for me. I wouldn't say that it was like a really bad accident. I mean, it totaled my car, and it was my fault. That's what was like even worse about all of it, was the fact that it was my fault. And I kind of feel like it was due to undiagnosed ADHD, because, okay, let me start from the beginning. Here's what happened. So it was 2009, and I had gone up to the school. I wasn't even supposed to go to the school that day, my college. I, was off that day, didn't have any classes or whatever, but I had gone up there to just hang out with friends, I think. I don't even remember why I had gone over there. But anyway, on my way back home, I got distracted. I started looking in the rearview mirror. I don't even remember exactly what the person behind me was doing, but for some reason I got distracted. And I was just staring in the rearview mirror. And I remember thinking in my head, stop looking in the mirror. Look forward. Stop looking in the mirror. Like screaming at myself to stop looking in the mirror. And finally, when I put my eyes back in front of me, the cars in front of me had all stopped at the railroad track. For some reason, I don't know why they were stopped, because it was way far back from the light. Like it wasn't up close enough to the light where it's like, okay, it was a red light and they had all stopped. It was like the three cars in front of me had stopped for some reason. And so I still am a little, I still feel like it was a little shady, like maybe the car in front of the car in front of me had hit the car in front of them already, and so that's why everyone was stopped. Like, maybe that happened. So maybe like all of the cars getting hit weren't completely my fault. But anyway, the official story is that it was all my fault. Is that I rear-ended the truck in front of me. And I don't remember how fast I was going. I want to say I was going like 45 miles an hour, because I was starting to slow down. My foot was already kind of over the brake. I wasn't pushing the gas or anything, but the speed limit on that road is 60, so I wasn't going over the speed limit. I wasn't speeding or anything. But yeah, I just slammed into the back of them. I mean, obviously when I saw it, I slammed on the brakes and I hit the back of them, and then they hit the car in front of them, and then they hit the car in front of them. So it was like a 4-car accident. And I did get hurt from it. I think I was the only one that ended up going, like, we're taking the ambulance to the hospital. The people in front of me seemed to be okay. A couple years later, I did get something to where one of the people, I think it was the person that was in front of the car that I hit, was trying to like sue everybody. But I just didn't. I mean, the insurance, handled it or whatever for me, so I didn't have to. I guess they just went ahead and like paid out, or whatever the people were asking, because I didn't end up having to do anything about it. But yeah, I ended up going to the hospital with a sprained wrist, a sprained ankle. I had a big cut in my knee where my keys had like sliced my knee. I had bruises like everywhere, and I kind of feel like it screwed up my back and my neck, because ever since then I've had like neck issues. And so I feel like that was a contributing factor to it. But it totaled my car. It was a bad enough of an accident where they told me that I was lucky to be alive. That if the hood of my car, and I think almost all cars are built like this now for this specific reason, but this is definitely one of those cases where, thank goodness, the hood of my car was built like this. It bent in the middle, and if it had not bent in the middle, then it would have taken my head off, is what was said. So yeah, that was pretty terrifying. And I think I had some kind of like a mild concussion too, or something, from getting hit in the face with the airbag, because I threw up at the hospital and I fell asleep in the MRI when they gave me an MRI. Yeah, so that's the story of my accident. It took a long time to heal, you know, physically from it, and the way that it has affected me mentally is I was terrified to drive for a long time. And I know, I mean, that's understandable. A lot of people who have, you know, major accidents where they total their car, they're a little nervous about driving again. Mine lasted for like, let's see, 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost 8 years has been my like on and off fear of driving. Just recently, just this past, I guess last year, I started being more comfortable with it once I moved back to where we are now. It's the town that I grew up in. But, you know, now I'm a little more comfortable with the roads and everything. So I'm a little more comfortable with driving. But for the past, like, 7 years, it's been, like, off and on fear. And, like, if I could avoid driving, I would. If somebody else could take me, I would just let them take me places. And, you know, I just keep, when I drive, what would happen is I would start seeing, like, getting flashes and visions of, like, these horrible things happening, like horrible accidents and stuff. Like, well, how am I going to get into an accident today? Is like how my brain would work with that. And I wouldn't say that that trauma was the cause of my anxiety, because I've had anxiety forever, but it definitely exacerbated it in my adult years. I, you know, was doing pretty well in college and stuff. I was talking to people, I was making friends, I was getting my work done, I wasn't stressing too much about things, and then that happened, and then I ended up dropping out of college after I had gotten married to my first husband, who I knew during the time I had the wreck. I'm not going to go into all of that this time, all that drama, but basically, since having the accident, I have definitely had more anxiety around driving and riding in cars with people and going long distances and riding on the freeway. But yeah, so it's a little ironic at this point that I decided to work for Uber Eats because it's a lot of driving. That's basically the entire job is driving. But you know, it's good. It's good for me because you have to drive. I mean, life is driving at this point. And so, you know, I need to get comfortable with it. And I have gotten more comfortable with it. And, you know, as far as the getting distracted from it goes, obviously when I was on medication for the ADHD, it was better. That's actually when I started getting more comfortable with driving. That was last year. And I started getting more comfortable with driving, was because I could actually focus when I was on the medication. I wasn't getting distracted by things. I wasn't looking around. I wasn't noticing like other stuff. I was able to just focus on the road ahead of me and the stuff in my peripheral vision that I chose to focus on, like a normal person. But since I've been off of medications, what I do now to kind of try and keep my main focus on driving, and it still doesn't work sometimes. Like, I have hit curbs, I've blown out tires, I have hopped curbs and stuff since then. But you know, I've had car issues recently, so I'm getting a little nervous again. But what I normally do in order to keep myself focused while I'm driving is I turn the radio up. First of all, I put it on music, so it's not like someone talking, so I'm not like I can't listen to talk radio when I drive, because I'm wanting to focus too much on what they're saying, and then I'm not paying attention to the road. And so I'll put it on music, and I'll turn it up, so that way it's stimulation in my brain for those, you know, the background part of your brain. I forget what it's called, there's terminology for it, but the background part of your brain, then there's stimulation for that, so it keeps that preoccupied. And also I'll chew gum. That way I'm also getting that, like physical stimulation, like I'm doing something. Like I can't fidget with my hands while I'm driving because I have to keep my hands on the wheel. But I can fidget with my mouth, so to speak, by chewing gum. And then it's keeping all of those background parts of my brain stimulated, and so then I can use the foreground part of my brain, the main focusing part or whatever, my here and now, I can actually focus on the road without getting distracted, well, without too many distractions. So yeah, that's my little technique of, you know, trying to keep the ADHD under control while I'm driving, which, you know, it's pretty dangerous to not have that under control when you're driving. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little story with you guys, just a little story time vlog. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if it was interesting to you. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and if you want to listen to the podcast regularly. You can find the podcast on Anchor, Spotify, pretty much anywhere. I think it's on Google something, Google Play or something like that. Anyway, anywhere where you can listen to podcasts, pretty much, you can find our podcast. And, you know, you can listen to it here. That's fine too. I listen to podcasts on YouTube personally. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!